can't see me. You can't see me. I'm cloaked. Uncloaked. It's not real magic. I was just hiding underneath the camera, and then with the aid of camera magic, I just spun around and appeared here. It's not real. Right, here we are. Look, 2 bags. Twice the work. There you go, surrounded. Right, listen up. Breathing. I've had a lot of people message me, especially traditional martial arts people, asking about breathing. Now, when people ask me about breathing, I normally say it's a bloody good idea. I do it all the time, and I highly recommend that you all do it all the time, because when you stop breathing, things get pretty nasty. So, yes, breathe. That's the flippant answer. Now, let's go deep on breathing. All right? A lot of martial arts styles and philosophies, if you like, talk about the different types of breathing, down to Dantian and all of that sort of stuff, and deep breathing. And yes, that's all absolutely correct. The vast majority of it is absolutely right. In boxing, they do a lot of breathing stuff, you know, outside of my flippant breathing, of exhaling before you punch. You get that, all that sort of stuff. Again, all absolutely correct. We teach it, we do it. But there's a different slant to breathing as well that you need to understand. So, a couple of caveats with everything, right? It's a case of like, everything works and everything doesn't work. What do I mean by that? Well, we all know that, you know, a spinning hook kick works, but it's difficult to land. When you get it, it looks great. We all know, you know, that all techniques can work, but again, it's when you apply them. If you try to apply a jumping, spinning hook kick in a narrow corridor, you're likely to smash into the wall, fall over and hurt yourself. Whereas in a narrow corridor, if you applied a jab cross, you got a much more chance of it landing. So it's not the technique that's wrong, that doesn't work per se, it's the time when you apply it, where you apply it, the situation that you apply it. So anyway, back to breathing, because it's important you understand that about when you apply. Now, obviously, we all know or should know, to exhale just before impact. So if it's just a jab, a simple jab, you exhale just before impact. So if what we say to people is that it's from the start of your punch or technique to landing is 100 units, let's say. So here is 0 in distance, there's 100 when it lands. Your breath should be gone between 90 and 95. So it's like, and then it lands. So it's just before. Okay, some people do it naturally, some people need to be taught it. So that's one thing, get that out of the way. Then the next thing is listening to your opponent breathe. Because think of it like this, if you have a ball and you fill it full of air, right, and you hit it, it just bounces off, right, just bounces away. If you take a load of the air out, you can hit that ball and it crumples up. And it's a bit the same with the body in a way. If I let go of my air, I breathe out and it's at that point where my body is most vulnerable. I'll say that again because it's very important. It's at that point that my body is most vulnerable on that breathe out. So once it's, that's when I'm vulnerable. So we would teach people, self-defense, combat sports, hit them on the breath. Especially if you've got somebody who's just like all the time, you hit them on the breath. So as soon as they breathe out, hit and watch the effect. So that's the flip side of it. So like everything, there's always a counter. So knowing it to be true that you want to be getting rid of your breath, but also once you get rid of your breath, if the other guy knows what he's doing, he's going to hit you on the breathe out. You do the breathe out silently, yes. So in your mind you might be going, but you're and silently doing it. It's very important, very important. Next thing about breathing is this one. I'll ask you a question, and you've got to think of the answer, and then we'll pause a couple of seconds. Sorry about the noise outside, we're in Asia. Anyway, here we go. Here's a question. How long can a dog bark for? Pause, dramatic effect. A bit more of a pause. A little bit more. Think of the answer. How long can a dog bark for? Answer, all effing night. All in day. Non-stop. Without getting tired. Why is that? Because they use the whole body to breathe, if you like. It's like so that bark, think of that as what you should be doing when you're punching. To give you an example, I'm not going to do it because I've done it loads of times and we do it all the time. But here we go. I want you to go on your bag, do whatever you do, and just absolutely cane it. Hit it 20, 30, 40, 50 times, whatever it is, and do it like people do when they get all tense and everything else, and they're holding their breath, almost smashing crap out of it. Then do the same thing where you're barking like a dog. So you hit the bag hard and fast, like you're barking like a dog. So just a quick demo of what I mean. You're going to be in here going... And I don't know how many that was, you can count it, but you're not breathing afterwards. You're still fine because you're barking like a dog. So everything's still okay. You can still carry on, have a conversation, blah, blah, blah. But of course, when your opponent knows what? Hit you on the breath. So you can learn to do that silently. Anyway, that is some critical breathing information. Breathing is always good fun. You should do it. I highly recommend it. And if you don't think breathing is good, let us know. I don't care, because if you don't breathe properly, you can't let us know anyway, can you? Anyway, press the buttons, do the thingies, whatever you want, don't care. Free stuff, help yourself. See you later.